Hello everyone, welcome to the market outlook for the week. Gaurang Shah here from Geojit Financial Services. And last week, right from Monday up until Thursday, we did see a significant recovery in the markets, and both Sensex and Nifty were up and away till Thursday when the markets closed. And that was the last day. Of course, on Thursday we did see a lot of choppiness last week because of the FNO expiry, but we did manage to gain with some kind of recovery. Then of course on Friday we had the markets correct, and this morning when we've come back to the trading terminals, we are seeing a little bit of red. But this morning also, when the markets opened up on Monday morning, and as we speak, there has been some recovery from the lows that we started off on Monday morning, that is this morning. Well, the reasons could be one too many. First one, of course, could be the alarming rise in the patients as far as COVID-19 is concerned. Fatalities are again clocking a record high number, and unfortunately India is in the limelight for all the wrong reasons. This could be the first reason. Second one could be, of course, we had the outcome of the state election in 5 states, and that was yesterday, and maybe because of the kind of numbers that the ruling party at the center came out with, especially in West Bengal, there was some kind of disappointment. But I think it is more of a knee-jerk reaction. State elections are important, but relative for the market is the general election. So maybe reaction in the market could be contributed to the outcome of 5 state elections that we had yesterday. But my sense is that market is reacting to the negative news flow as far as the COVID-19 situation in India is concerned. We are going through the worst phase, and the second wave has resulted into a mayhem as far as health infrastructure is concerned. In certain states like Maharashtra, the state government is already preparing itself for the third wave, and one doesn't know how many waves are going to come. But like I have been interacting with all of you all earlier, and my humble request is that maintain distance, wear a mask, don't overcrowd, follow the protocol of standard operating procedures, and be a responsible citizen and abide by COVID appropriate behavior. I think it is only up to us to break this chain. If we are careless, if we drop the guard, then I think all of us will have to pay a price. So once again, humble request, follow the protocols, follow COVID appropriate behavior, maintain social distancing, don't overcrowd, and most importantly, wear your mask. That too, above your nose and below the chin. Don't drop your mask below the chin, because that's useless. Now coming back to the markets, well, we are seeing some recovery, like I mentioned in my first opening remarks, and my sense is that we could possibly see some more recovery come through. Remember one thing on the Nifty spot, 14,000 to 14,300. This is a 300-point zone wherein we have gone there multiple times and we have recovered quite smartly. Most importantly to notice is the recovery last week, when we went very close to 15,000 on the Nifty spot also. So my belief is that we would possibly be seeing oscillating between this 14,000, 14,300 with multiple support levels, and there might be there might be attempts to move higher, closer to maybe about 14,700, 14,900, or even 15,000. But all that will come with a lot of choppiness, a lot of volatility. But if you are a short to medium term investor, then I think you need to worry. If you are a long term investor, purely going by the fourth quarter numbers, whatever we have seen till Saturday evening, I think there were a great set of numbers. On Friday evening last week, we had Reliance Industries, one of the large cap companies, announced numbers, and according to our parameters, there were no such great disappointments. So this fourth quarter for the last financial year will definitely go by smoothly. I am not overly concerned about the fourth quarter earning last week. My concern, if any, would be the situation that we are in currently. This, mini lockdowns, restricted lockdowns in various states, and all those states have their own policy and different timings. Now, if this has to get extended the way it is getting extended by 15 days, then my concern is that for this financial year, first and second quarter numbers would look disappointing. More so the first quarter result of this financial year, because you might feel the impact of the magnitude because of this lockdown or restricted lockdown, resulting in low offtake of numbers, restriction in activity, restriction in transportation, etc., etc. So there might be a case wherein the first quarter of this financial year may turn out to be disappointing, just in case if the situation has to worsen, and if there are much more stricter version of lockdown being implemented either state-wise, or if finally there is a decision by the central government to put into force a national lockdown with certain restrictions. This only time will tell, friends, but these are some of the concerns that I wanted to highlight. On the commodity front, $66 a barrel or thereabouts Brent, $61 or thereabout on the NYMEX. And I was reading a report yesterday that the demand for crude oil, especially for countries like China and India, is likely to go down. More importantly in India, because of the situation that we are into. And that might result into some lower level of crude oil prices globally. And not to forget, globally also, there are countries which have gone into various modes of lockdown in various policies that they have implemented. So there is a possibility that the global demand for crude oil as an energy might start looking a little bit lower and on the downside, which may result into some kind of relaxation in crude oil prices internationally. Again, that will be positive. As far as the rupee dollar equation is concerned, if you recollect last time when we interacted last week, our view was that it will go closer to 74, 74.25. We are currently trading close to about 74.27, 74.30, and the view is that the rupee dollar equation may remain in the range of 74 as strength in the INR against the dollar, and maybe if we have to weaken that level might get extended to 74.50, but that's the broad range wherein we will oscillate as far as the rupee dollar equation is concerned. Vaccination is the need of the hour, but unfortunately we do not have, or the states do not have, the stock of vaccines which they need to vaccinate the population. There is news that possibly in the next 1 or 2 weeks there will be some amount of supply that might be coming through, but again there are production restrictions as far as both these vaccines are concerned, and there are a lot of number of people who need to get vaccinated, especially for all those 45 plus who have taken their first shot and are enrolling for the second shot. Unfortunately, even on the CoWIN website, all the slots that I was going through for my second jab have been occupied and there is no date available. So similarly, I think if you have younger generation from 18 to maybe 25 or 45 lining up for vaccination, then there might be a long wait. So this only time will tell. But overall, well, let me say this, that dips are great opportunities to buy. And as far as the monsoon is concerned, we had some good news from the Met Department. 98% of long-term averages is the expectation for this year as well, which is a record, I think, 4th or the 5th year wherein we will be getting normal to above normal monsoon. And as we all know, very important and integral part for the Indian economy. The rain gods are likely to shower their blessings once again this time during the monsoon season. So if that happens, then I think agri activity might record another higher level and record another peak. Overall, my sense is that FMCG, IT, pharma, cement, metals, banking, strong NBFCs and autos along with auto ancillary. I think these are the priority sectors that you should possibly focus on and try to identify large cap winners over there. I just want to highlight one name. I think Hindustan Unilever came out with its number last week. A very strong set of numbers, and the likely possibility is that this stock is going to be outperforming the sector and even turn out to be a great winner. As a disclosure, Geojit has a positive coverage on Hindustan Unilever, and we've maintained that for a pretty long period of time. One more name, if I have to mention over here, associated with this sector is Tata Consumer Products. Again, a great pedigree, great corporate governance comes from a renowned Tata Group, has got tremendous capability in terms of delivering on earnings. So FMCG, IT, pharma, metal, cement, select auto names, private sector banks, strong NBFCs, I think these are the priority areas. Even diagnosis and life insurance related sector cannot be ignored. So try to focus on all this in this kind of correction and make a very strong and healthy portfolio. I would take your leave. Thank you all very much for listening to me so patiently. Again, requesting all of you all to be a responsible citizen, abide by the standard operating procedure, have COVID appropriate behavior implemented not only amongst yourself, your family members, but also tell others to follow that. It's only us who can break this chain, and if we drop the guard, then we don't have anybody else to blame but ourselves. Wishing you all a very healthy life and see you again next week. Thank you very much. Bye bye.